Hello. It is Fabian Williams, marriage and family therapist and licensed professional counselor with Life Anew, where your new life awaits. And today I'm talking about attachment. Why am I talking about attachment? Because I'm noticing that so many things are related to attachment rupture. Bowlby and Ainsworth and all of these, Klein, well, no, Klein kind of negated it, but Bowlby and Ainsworth were the mother and father of attachment theory, and they believe that attachment can be established as early as 18 months. So at 18 months old, you have an established attachment, right? And the four attachment styles are secure, anxious, avoidant, and then disorganized, right? So secure is that individual that is comfortable based upon how he was raised, he or she was raised. The anxious is that individual that's always on pins and needles. The avoidant is the one that's just like, I'm good. Leave me alone. Please don't touch me. Please don't come near me. And disorganized is a mix of the two. And with those four attachment styles, where we want to live is secure, but where many of us have existed is in one of the insecure attachment styles, being anxious, avoidant, or disorganized. Now, there are some ways, once you've had an attachment rupture, there are some ways to secure your attachment. Some things you can do with children. One thing that I learned that was very interesting to me is holding a child heart to heart. There is a belief that the nervous system of the mother or the primary caregiver is very indicative of how that child will turn out. And so putting the child heart to heart, calming yourself, and then in turn, that heart to heart relationship with that child creates a calming in the child. Hence, one of the benefits of breastfeeding, because the child is constantly finding himself in this secure position, heart to heart with their mother. Another great point that I want to put out, sidebar, but still very pertinent, is Dr. Tama Bryan talks about the dysregulated mother's nervous system impacts the child, and sometimes worse than if the child was abused. Think about that. When you think about that thought, like that's just saying that if I, as the parent, am regulated, if I have a regulated nervous system, if I am in control, if I am not always either anxious, avoidant, or disorganized, that in turn impacts my child in a positive way and can secure their attachment. So that's a good thing to take note of. One of the remedies, I always like to give the antidote. One of the remedies then is to get help yourself. Make sure that you are calm. Make sure that you are in control. Make sure that you are at a place of peace with society and with everything that's going on in your life. And I know we experience trauma and can't avoid it, but at the same time, being able to take control of that trauma, utilizing different practices, therapeutic resourcing to take care of you is important for that child to live his best and most optimal self. So let me give you some of the attachment repair tips for today for those of us who are already adult, who are already know that we fall into the avoidant, anxious, or disorganized attachment. There are some things that we can do. One is to, rewind. Go back to the children. I wanted to talk about listening, loving, and setting limits. So listening is important. So that heart to heart for your children, listening to them, listening to what they say, even if it means taking a minute away from the phone, giving them that attention so that they don't feel neglected, ignored, unimportant. That's this I am enough thing that's going on now. Why do children feel like they are not enough? Because they have been ignored, set aside. Children should be seen and not heard. That thing. So listening to them, allowing them to just talk, even if they are rambling about the color of the crayons of the day, let them ramble, because listening to them is important because it allows them to express themselves and feel like contributing members to society and feel like they are important and they are enough, right? Loving them, of course, being as loving as possible, being as touching as possible, because you are the person that can touch them. It is important to help them to feel secure, touching, giving them that safe touch, and then setting limits. Children want limits. No child wants to be free to run the world. That is dangerous. Let me say it again for the people in the back. That is dangerous. So, setting limits on your child is a loving response to life in general. So, that is okay, children. If you're working with children, that's some of the things to help secure them. Because, again, remember, 18 months, it's set. Sometimes it's set in stone. We want to crack that stone and repair whatever was not secured when they were 18 months. So, then for you, as the adult. One is inner child work. You know, I always talk about bubbles. Bubbles is inner child work. It is allowing that inner child to live. Let the inner child live. My a friend of ours just has game night once. I think she has it once a month, and it is an ultimate therapeutic practice in that it allows people to play like little kids. So all these adults playing these games like Uno and Boggle and all of that. No, they ain't giving me no money, but I will take it. I'll take it for the endorsement. So allowing adults to play is important. Being the inner child, loving that inner child, and then silencing that inner critic. Shut up. You are a liar. You are from the pit, and we bind you and cast you out. Sorry, I went spiritual there. No, I'm not sorry, because that's exactly what it is. The inner critic is a negative, kill, steal, and destroy type setup for you. But as many preachers, some of those prolific preachers that have all of these good words, it's a setup for you to get up. So begin to silence that inner critic. Tell that critic to be quiet. You are great. You are enough. You are special. You were made on purpose and for purpose. You can do it. No, there is no failure, because all things are possible for you. So silencing that inner critic is a great way to repair the attachment wounds that some of us have experienced. Developing that trusted tribe. I always talk about my girlfriend friend. You know, that whole thing. Your girlfriends are important. Your male friends are important. Those people that you can trust and pour into, and they in turn pour into you, allow you to feel like somebody in this world can be trusted. It develops this wonderful internal working model that says there is safety in this world. Then self-care. Of course, we talk about self-care, whatever that looks like for you. I don't want to shame anybody based upon their self-care practices. So if your self-care is a bath, that is great, fine and dandy. If your self-care is going golfing, that is great, fine and dandy. If your self-care is standing in the middle of the woods, lost, that is fine and dandy, because some people like to find their way out. I think that's a beautiful thing. And nature, being one with nature, is one anyway. So if that's your self-care, now you've got two. You got two pluses in your corner, because being in nature is also a great thing. So I always say, get up, go outside, feel some air, even if it's cold air, feel some cold air on your face, put your feet in some grass, some snow, whatever, let the rain drop on you. All of those things are like a wake up to your nervous system, and they say, hey, I am alive, I am here and now, in the words of Fritz Perlis. And last but not least, but most importantly in my book, is prayer and meditation. In the secular world, they call it meditation. In the Christian world, we call it prayer. Diving into your maker, your creator, getting one on the vertical so that you can be one on the horizontal. It's vitally important. So those are just some tips on repairing that rupture that can occur in attachment. Because attachment happens so early, sometimes some things happen that we just could not control, and it gets ruptured, but it doesn't have to stay that way. There is always hope. We know that the neuroplasticity of our brain allows us to repair that injury. And I am Fabian Williams, marriage and family therapist, licensed professional counselor. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Have a blessed and beautiful day.